is it broken?
I can't delete the I. So whatever last name you pick, it's gonna have to start with an I.
It's a good thing that we have. I am Amazon. There you go. Problem solved. Perfect. So the dynasty is now called I am Amazon. Okay. So basically, what you're looking at, guys.
If it wasn't clear, this is beta.
This is very hot code.
We're still bug fixing, so you know, if weird stuff happens, we'll fix it.
I was gonna go for Diana, but, you know, whatever.
That's gonna be the first name.
Okay, that's good. Diana, I am happy.
Oh, I know.
It is every single first letter, isn't it?
Okay,
Okay,
yeah,
fair
yeah.
enough.
Diana.
Perfect.
And we have Adriana. That works.
There we go.
How old should she be?
Well, she needs to be old because she needs to have terrible stats and her heir is super good stats.
Okay, so what Matt was referring to here is the fact that there's two factors to the cost for your monarch, because, you know, having your monarch stats cost, but basically 2 is the norm and costs nothing. Below 2 gets you points back, above 2 costs you points. But this is also modified by how old the ruler and the heir is. So if you have a really young ruler that's a 666, that's gonna cost a lot more. If you have a really young ruler that's a 000, you're gonna get a decent chunk of points back, but on the other hand, you're stuck with a 15-year-old 000, so that's not very fun.
Yeah, it's a very similar approach of what you could do in Crusader Kings 2,
Yeah.
whereas you're older, if you have a really old ruler, all of the points that you're gonna get back is, you know, you're gonna get a significant amount of points back. I don't think we have a system in place for temporary things. Like in CK2, the character creator, you could get yourself excommunicated and then buy yourself back into the church.
No, we don't have anything like that, nor do we want to have anything like that, even if it's funny.
Exactly. So, she can only be 60. So, it can't be older than 60.
Yeah, and she's a 000.
I think we should boot that up to 69 max.
All right.
Northern Lion would be so happy.
In any event.
And anyway.
Heir.
As young as humanly possible. Well, actually, not as young as humanly possible. Make him 666 at the age of 10.
Age of 10.
Yeah, just in case the ruler dies,
Right.
or we don't get stuck.
So
in
let's
a
see.
10-year
We're getting
long...
6 points back for Idiana, and Adriana costs us 28.8 points. So, you know, we did fiddle a little bit, but but hey, we're gonna have a pretty great ruler, unless we get the, you know, die please die achievement.
Yeah, or the your heir has fallen ill, sent for medicus.
Oh, actually, you can't. Yeah, exactly. But when I said achievement, you can, just to be clear, you actually cannot get achievements in the Nation Designer.
Okay.
You can play an Iron Man, you cannot get achievements because, you know.
This is something that people are asking.
Mm-hmm.
If you shift click, does it add to 10 by
Yes.
default? Okay. So shift.
Shift click is 1, shift click is 10.
Oh. Okay.
So, you know, less clicking.
Perfect. All right. So.
Okay, we have our Amazons.
Yeah, we have our Amazons with their Inuit models.
Yes.
Okay. Cool.
Shall we make a flag?
Yes, we shall make a flag. So this particular system, we've already played with this in the past with the vassal creation system, or as it's more normally called, the
Client state system.
The client state system. So we've adapted that particular system in this particular case. What is new about this setup here?
Right. So the client state creation was pretty basic. You had one color, one symbol. That's it. And you could call it a symbol, but generally it just looked boring looking flags.
Mm-hmm.
This is much more like CK2, where you have a lot of different backgrounds, you have emblems, and all the colors are actually taken from like flags and map colors in the game, so they look good and they look consistent with all the other flags. We have the background sort of determines the background pattern, and that can have anywhere between 1 and 3 colors. So all these have 2 colors, for example.
Okay.
We have our orange and we have our green.
We have a bunch of them, basically, yeah.
Yep.
Which one are you going for? The Aragon one?
I'm seeing if I can find one with 3 colors.
Mm-hmm.
Should be towards the end here.
Is the client state interface going to be updated to be similar to this one?
Yes.
Oh.
The client state interface will be free of charge to anyone who has Art of War. Will be updated to use this creator instead of the old one.
Oh.
And we're also changing the revolutionary tricolor so that countries will have a dynamic tricolor based on their national colors instead of everyone waving the French one.
Ooh,
because, you know, that's something that people complain about.
Yeah, it's
and rightfully so.
It's well, I did see revolutionary Portugal the other day. So, that's also a feature. I would like to point this out before we do anything. Okay, so what we have here. So we're gonna kind of go through here. Are we gonna keep the swords?
Yeah.
Okay. I like that one. I like that one.
This one?
Yeah.
Or that one?
No, the previous one. And it feels very African.
All right.
It's very good. I like it. We need to name our nation though.
Oh yeah, New Trebizond is a terrible name.
It's an awful name. We need to call it Amazon.
Amazonia or Amazons or Amazon Empire?
Amazonia.
Amazonia?
Yeah, and the adjective...
Amazonian.
Amazonian.
Hello, there we go.
Yeah, out of sheer curiosity...
And you can see it updating here on the right as we change things.
Considering we are an empire and we were going with the Amazon Empire...
I feel like we should have some more provinces to start with.
Yes,
we only have Trebizond right now.
We need Cyprus.
Yeah, so here's how this works. Just like you click on a map to select your first province, you can now also click to select more provinces. So
and they all cost points, obviously.
Yes. You can see in the tooltip here that it says what it costs, and it's based on the base tax and the manpower. Gold provinces cost more, and provinces with special modifiers like, you know, Dalaskogen with the big copper mountain cost more. And, you know, if you like, Cyprus, too much sand, you just click it again. And then right back.
Okay, for this particular one, we need Georgia and Northern Anatolia.
Okay, so I'll remove Southern Anatolia. I'll take this.
I like how somebody decided ask us to change the name to Olmazonia. It could have worked. Oh man, I love the fact. Just out of sheer curiosity, and this is something that is completely non-related to this. Every once in a while, my name of my nation will overlap with the territory of another nation.
Yeah.
What is up with that?
The calculation isn't perfect.
Okay, can we get CBs whenever that happens?
Sure.
Okay.
Done.
Cool.
So now we actually bought more territory than we can afford.
Yes.
So I'll probably have to walk back on some of this, but, you know.
Can we, instead of actually removing territory, change the actual value of the province instead? Because what is this based on? What is the actual point usage based on?
The point usage is based on how much the province is worth. So it's based on its tax and manpower.
Okay.
So, I mean, the richer, it's not just about the amount of province, it's also the richer the provinces. I mean, look here, Constantinople, 22 points. Whereas, let's say, Theodoro, 6 points.
Or some wasteland in Siberia.
Let's have a look here at Mighty Kola. 2 points.
2 points. Well, they got fur.
Yeah, well, you know.
How does it work with if you're going to grab a piece of territory that's uncolonized? How does that work with the resource there? Like, you click on there on a piece of territory, do you automatically get a resource allocated to that particular area?
A resource will be generated for that province.
Can you, in that particular case, if you're not happy with the resource, unclick it and a new resource will be generated?
You won't know which resource you get until you start.
Oh, that's fun.
So, you know, you sort of get to take your chances, because, I mean, otherwise that would be kind of exploitable.
And the points are a hard limit.
They're all, well, they're in the game, but everything is moddable in terms of point costs.
Yeah. So
it's all controlled in the fines, and there's a lot of like manual control you can do to set provinces, because, you know, we needed the tools for the special provinces. You can't just use standard calculations for everything.
And in this particular case, though, is distance from overseas calculated as well? Say if you have Ireland and you decide to take territory in the 13 colonies.
There is an extra cost for basically the more disjointed your nation is.
Okay.
So if you go like boop, 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 boop. And this is not actually in yet, so this is perfectly fine right now, but this will be completely unaffordable.
Okay.
You will also sort of calculate based on how snaky it is.
I like how the names...
So, I mean, you can do it, but it's gonna come at the costs. So, you know, if you want to do this.
Oh, but that just makes the name look awful.
yes, it does.
Let's
walk that right back.
Yeah, you know, Crimea River is totally possible right off the start now.
Yep.
So, anyway, we've dicked around long enough with selecting the amount of territories. How many points do we have left?
Alright, so we spent 133 points.
67 points are remaining. There's a nice little tooltip here that says what the total.
Yeah. So we'll spend 44 on tax, 40 on manpower, 30 on being an empire. We could change that if we want. Go back to being a despotic monarchy. -4 for being Eastern in Europe. -6 for our amazing ruler. And 28.8 for our terrible heir.
Well, I think do we still have a province selected in India?
Maybe?
Go in there. I think we still do.
Yeah, we do.
So, okay, hold on. I'd say, Snipe Styler, man, you got our back covered right there. That's the sort of shit I like to see. Good man. You left one in Asia, the chat completely fills up. That's good. Change the nation color, please. Is currently almost the same as Kandar, which is true. It is almost the same as Kandar.
Yeah, it's true.
We could just annex it. Just add it. Just add Kandar to our territory, really.
We'll do both.
There you go. Problem solved. Okay, so that was your that's your answer.
And by the way, any nation that you take stuff from, if they're still around, they will not get cores on the territory. If you annex them entirely, they will get cores on the territory. Also, every province you have will change to whatever religion you pick, but the cultures will not change. So you mean you can be like, Swedish culture in North America, and uncolonized provinces will change their culture. Other provinces will not.
Okay.
So if you're Swedish in China, you will still be ruling over the Chinese, but they will convert to your superior Norse ways.
Definitely superior Norse ways. It's that kind of goes. And then again, Norse is quite good with conversion as well, I think. So.
Okay.
Let's go into the ideas. The person on the forum, Viola, with 1,242 comments, decided, you know what, we need Amazonia needs a little bit more flexibility here. So I'm quickly gonna go and take a look. Ignore this. That's not important. Amazonian Empire, despotic monarchy, traditions. So first of all, we need 100% hostile core creation on us.
All right. Let's find the hostile corporation.
Okay, 100%. So there is this thing right here with the 1 to 4 thing. What's that all about?
So how it works is that for the traditions you pick 2 modifiers. For each of these ideas, which is one of the 7 national ideas that you unlock by buying ideas, you pick 1 modifier, and for the ambitions you pick 1 modifier. But you can change their strength. So the default hostile core creation modifier is only 25%. If you want it up to 100%, you'll have to increase its level all the way up to level 4. And it gets exponentially more expensive. Right now it's even more expensive because we have too much of one category. I'll go into that later.
Yeah, we also have, we've also already spent 232 points.
Yeah, well, that's because nationally I have more than 50% administrative levels. So, but it is definitely the way that having very high level ideas, having the level 1 ideas generally cost nothing. Having the high level ideas generally cost a lot. So if you want really good ideas, you're basically gonna have to give up a lot of other things.
Okay, like territory.
Yeah, like territory, or start with crappy rulers,
but in all honesty,
or a crappy tech group.
In all honesty, it's the ideas that are far more powerful.
Yeah, because the ideas will last. They will last the entire game.
Yeah,
you can
whereas
get territory.
a shitty ruler will maybe last a year.
You can get that territory, but you can't buy better ideas unless you form Russia.
Yeah, exactly. Secondly, +1 attrition for enemies.
Alright, and that's on their military. Let's boost that up to level 2.
Okay, cool. We've now spent 177 points. So no insane discipline stacking ideas, people are asking.
Right, so you can stack discipline up to 10% a total. And that'll cost you, let's see, what will 10%, I think it costs like, I'm trying to remember, but it's like 30 points or something. It's a lot. The cost also varies based on how powerful the modifier is. So discipline is expensive. Core creation cost reduction for you is expensive. National tax modifier and production efficiency not as expensive. So we're trying to balance it. But we obviously still want you to be able to build a strong idea set. We just don't want you to be able to be like, oh, so hey, I have 100 plus 120% discipline. Would you? Here, I have 1 soldier. Oh,
it's like a
I see you have 1,000. Well,
traditions is Elon on crack, and basically stuff like that.
I mean, you can, if you want to do that, you can set the custom start to very easy, and just go nuts, or you can mod yourself to have unlimited points and really go nuts. You can even mod so that you can all of these can support up to level 10, which would be 25% discipline. And then you can mod the discipline modifier so it's 10% per step, so it's 100%. I mean, if you want to do that stuff, go ahead. But by default, we're trying to aim for something that can be played in multiplayer without just needing an insane amount of house rules.
But on a side note, are the scripters really happy that they now have a tool where they can make nations in-game on the fly rather than having to pull out the coding tools and write them down? And
you still have to script in new content. I mean, you can't just save this to the game.
Okay.
So, but it's definitely a fun thing to use to sort of play around with and test out different things. And it's definitely a powerful tool if we ever want to make, more dynamic, the ability for dynamic countries to appear, which is a pretty cool idea. And we could totally support now.
And you can set any nation on the map to this. You can have multiple nations in single player.
Yeah, you can create up to 32 custom nations.
Can you set those nations to lucky nations?